welcome to the Quiet Your Inner Mean Girl podcast, a place for you to find the courage you need to take the first step and every step thereafter to create the habits, the confidence, and the life that you love. I'm your host, health and life coach, Abby Hegney. Let's dive in. Welcome back to episode 35. Can I just say that every week I come on to record these episodes and I say the episode number, I am still blown away that I am doing this, that I have been doing this for 35 weeks now. I am still blown away that I had the courage to hit record on episode 1, that I was able to quiet my inner mean girl enough to believe that I could do this, that women just like you would benefit from hearing these messages every week, that you would even hit play and listen to these messages every week. I am still blown away that I took that first step, even though I was scared, even though I didn't know what I was doing or how it was going to go. And every week when I see the numbers climb of the people who are listening to these episodes, and I read the reviews that some of you have left and the messages that some of you send me, it is confirmation that sometimes the greatest things we do in our lives are the things that take courage, the things that feel really uncomfortable at first, the things that we don't have a perfectly laid out plan for, the things that deep down we believe we are meant for. And that's exactly what we are going to talk about today in part 3 of this series on quitting. Quitting on yourself, on your goals, on your habits, on the confidence and the life that you really want for yourself. So a quick little recap. In part 1, we talked about why we quit on ourselves and the critical role that our belief in what is possible and what we are capable of plays in reaching our goals. In part 2, we talked about how we quit on ourselves, those big, obvious quits, and the small, subtle quits that compound over time and can so easily show up in our everyday lives if we're not careful. Today, we are going to talk about the 3 things that you need to do to stop quitting on yourself so that you can create the life that you dream of living. I know it can feel really hard to create the habits and the confidence that you want. I know that feeling balanced and in control of your life can feel like it's a far off dream. It can feel like you don't have the time or the energy to even think about it, let alone do it. But that is exactly why I am bringing you these episodes. I know what it is like to feel overwhelmed, to not even know where to start, or to feel like it's going to be so hard and so time consuming. And I want you to see that it can be, and it actually is, quite simple. In fact, as I am bringing you this episode, I am getting ready to celebrate one of my clients who is wrapping up her last couple of sessions inside of Confident Mind and Body. And this client of mine has completely changed just about every aspect of her life because of this work. She came to me last year asking, "How can you help me?" She felt lost. She couldn't even think about what she wanted or where she wanted to be because it felt so far away. The thing that I told her was, "I've got you." I told her that it was going to feel hard, not because she wasn't capable of change, but because we were going to do things that she hadn't done before. And that is hard. But I told her that we were going to do it together. She was going to be supported throughout her entire journey. She did exactly what we are going to talk about today. And as a result, she now feels free from her inner mean girl. She feels confident in who she is and what she does. She feels lighter and happier and is living a life that she loves. This is available to you too. If you are tired of putting off what you really want, if you don't even know what you really want or where you want to be because it feels so far away, just as it felt for my client, if you are tired of feeling stuck, if you just know that you want to create change, that you want to feel better, that you want to live your life differently than you are living right now, this episode is for you. So let's get into it. Let's start with what I truly believe is the biggest game changer. It is the thing that most people overlook. The thing that if you open yourself up to it and you do the work, it can change every area of your life for the better. The first thing that you need to do in order to stop quitting on yourself and the goals that you set for yourself is to quiet your inner mean girl. Your inner mean girl is not always loud and mean and critical. She's also quiet and subtle and comfortable. She's the primitive part of your brain that wants to keep you safe, but the reality is that you're not running from tigers. The safety that she seeks is keeping you in the comfort of what you know. It's holding you back. It's creating a bigger gap between the life you are living and the life that you want to live. The fastest way to close that gap is to learn to quiet her down. In order to do this, you have to know what she sounds like, every flavor of her, the big and the loud and the small and the quiet. My clients learn how to identify these stories quickly and see them for exactly what they are, stories. Because as true as they may feel, they are not your truth. They are just stories, stories that you have told yourself over and over again for far too long. And it's time to rewrite them in a powerful way that launches you towards the habits and the confidence and the life that you want. When you learn to quiet your inner mean girl, you inch yourself closer to the edge of your comfort zone. I can't do it or it's not possible becomes maybe I can do this. And this is the moment we want to take advantage of. This is the moment where I hit record on episode 1 of this podcast. I went from, I can't do that, I'm not ready, to maybe I can do this. And this goes back to the foundation of belief in yourself, in your goals, in what is possible. And it leads to the second thing that you need to do in order to stop quitting on yourself, which is to be willing to feel uncomfortable and to keep going. Change is uncomfortable. Our natural human nature is to feel good. And what feels good is what we know. But when you want to create change in your life, you have to step out of what you know. This is where most people quit. Right when things start to feel hard, when the discomfort creeps in and they want to avoid it as quickly as they can. But discomfort isn't a sign to give up, to stop. It's a sign that you're doing something different, something new, something that's stretching you into the version of yourself that you want to be. And that is where you want to make decisions from. In Confident Mind and Body, we call this creating future focused habits. We think more about what you want and the decisions that you would be making if you were already there than where you've been. It doesn't matter how many times you've started and stopped or how many times you have failed. What matters is your willingness to feel the discomfort of change and to keep yourself moving in the direction that you want to go with a focus on who you are becoming and what you are creating. When my client reached out last year, I didn't sugarcoat her journey. I didn't tell her that it was going to be easy and smooth and that it would feel good all of the time. Instead, I let her know it's going to be hard. It's going to feel uncomfortable. And you're going to keep going because the future that you want to create for yourself is worth the temporary discomfort of change. When you anticipate discomfort, it becomes part of the process. You learn to navigate it without making it mean that you can't do it or that you messed up or fell off track. Instead, it becomes, of course, this is happening. And here's what I'm going to do about it. You become the woman who can handle challenges. You become the woman who doesn't need to feel comfortable to take action. You become the woman who believes in the life that she is creating more than she's attached to the life that she's ready to leave behind. So, those are the first two things that you have to do. You have to quiet your inner mean girl. You have to be able to identify the stories that she tells you, the loud, the big, the obvious stories, and the small, the subtle, the quiet stories. And you have to anticipate discomfort along the way and allow yourself to feel it and continue to take action, to do it anyway. The last thing that you need to do to stop quitting on yourself is to take action before you know the way. We love certainty. We love knowing exactly how things are going to play out, exactly how long something is going to take, exactly how it's going to feel. We want our journey to be mapped out from A to Z. It's one of the biggest reasons we put it off for so long. Our brains associate certainty with safety. But the reality is, we never know the way until we know the way. We never know how to do it until we have done it. Even when we think we know the way because we've seen other people do it successfully, we don't know the way for ourselves. We are all different. We have different bodies and different lives and different mindsets. And just because it worked for someone else doesn't mean that it will work for you in the same way. Think about that. If you have ever followed a plan or done something exactly as somebody else has done and it hasn't worked as you thought it would, you haven't gotten the results that they got, you probably felt frustrated. You felt disappointed. You believed that it wasn't working, that you couldn't do it. Creating change that works for you, that feels sustainable, that becomes part of who you are and what you do requires you to step into the unknown. It requires you to do things before you feel ready, before you have all of the answers, before you feel totally confident in doing it. When we fear the unknown, we try to control everything. We overthink, we plan excessively, we don't take action because we are waiting for the perfect time. But there is no perfect time. There is only the time that you make perfect to start, to keep going, to take that next step. My client could have gone on and on and on waiting to create the life that she wanted to live until she knew exactly what that looked like, how she was going to do it. That would have been easier for her to do. She had already been doing that for so long. Instead, she had the courage to step into the unknown, to trust herself enough to know that she wanted more. She wanted to feel better. She wanted to be living life in a different way. She trusted herself enough to know that she was willing to figure it out, that the life that was there for her, waiting on the other side, was worth it. When I started this podcast, I didn't know a thing about podcasting. I didn't know if anyone would listen or if they did, if they would be back for more. I could have spent the past 35 weeks trying to figure it all out, creating the perfect plan, waiting for the perfect moment to start. Instead, I chose to step into the unknown. I chose to get started. I chose to do it scared, to do it before I felt ready. And I am so glad that I did, because every week that I come on here and I record another episode, it is evidence for what we can create when we stop waiting. Instead of waiting, instead of telling yourself, I'll get to it, or I'll do it another day, instead of convincing yourself you need to have it all figured out first, I want you to take that first step anyway, with a focus on the future that you want to create for yourself. Take one small step, even if that feels scary, even if you are unsure, because every time you do, you quiet your inner mean girl a little bit more, and you prove to yourself that you can handle the unknown, that you can handle the uncomfortable. And that is where confidence is built. You start, you celebrate every step, you learn from the wins and the failures, and you keep yourself moving forward. When you master these three simple steps, every aspect of your life changes. You develop the skill of making decisions and taking action for the future you want to create. And that is a skill that nobody can ever take away from you. It's yours to keep forever. This is just one of the skills that you develop inside of Confident Mind and Body. And just as I told my client, these steps are simple. That doesn't mean they are easy. They may feel hard at first, but only because they are new. Only because right now your inner mean girl will try to pull you back into the comfort of what you know. That's why we do this work together, so that you feel supported, so that I can help you to identify when your inner mean girl is showing up in your life, and I can help you to keep your feet and your face pointed in the direction that you want to go until you master the art of quieting her down and creating future focused habits for yourself. Learning these skills may feel hard at first, but it has given me back so much time and energy in my day. Time and energy I used to spend battling my inner mean girl that I now get to spend living the life that I want, creating the next level of my life. Learning these skills has liberated my client, and she is now living a life that used to feel so far away she couldn't even imagine it. So, yes, it may feel hard at first, but with the support that you get inside a Confident Mind Body, the clarity that you gain, the clear, simple, doable path that you forge makes it feel so much easier. I have seen my clients change their habits within 1 month of working together. Within 3 months, I have seen their lives be completely different. And within 6 months, I have seen them not even recognize their life or themselves anymore. Imagine that for yourself. Imagine no longer quitting on the goals that you have for yourself, on the habits that you want to create, the confidence and the balance and the consistency you want in your life. Imagine not quitting on that life that you envision for yourself. You can go on trying to muscle through change by yourself, or you can stop quitting. You can quiet your inner mean girl. You can do it before you feel ready, before it feels comfortable. You can go all in on the life that you want to create for yourself. This offer is for those of you who are ready to do just that, who feel the pull to change even though it feels scary, even though you don't know the way, even though your inner mean girl is trying in every which way to pull you back and to keep you from change. I invite you to join me inside of Confident Mind and Body to do this work for 6 months so that you can create the habits, the confidence, and the balance that you want so you can live the life that you envision for yourself. If you feel even an ounce of courage today, it is time. Schedule your free consultation. It is the first of 25 calls we have together. It will open you up to a new perspective on what is possible for you and a new energy to go out and create that. Book your call today, and I will talk to you next week. You are ready to quiet your inner mean girl. I invite you to join me inside Confident Mind and Body, my private coaching program, where you will learn to quiet your inner mean girl and create the habits, the confidence, and the life that you love. Just visit wellnesswithabbyh.com and schedule a free consultation.